Hello and welcome back, guys, to One Piece chapter 998. We start off the chapter with Enel sleeping on a giant cat. While I do not think this has any relevance to the plot whatsoever since it is fan requested, I do think it is Oda's way of saying, hey guys, do not forget, this guy exists. He's out there somewhere. Last time we heard of him, he's on the moon or transversing space with a bunch of animals. I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the last time we saw him, and that was on a cover page. And we do know the cover page is more or less our canon, and they do have some relevance to the story later on. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see if he does come back. I do not think he will be Luffy's enemy if he does come back, mainly because, like, dude, even if Enel gets Haki, Enel gets Rio, he masters that shit, he still will not stand a chance against Luffy. And you know why? Because Luffy already has that shit, bro. Luffy has Haki. He's mastering Rio as we speak. Maybe master isn't the right word. He's learning it right now. He's in the process. He's intermediate. And then if Enel shows up, then they're equal, right? You want to say, okay, they both got Haki. They're both pretty strong people. Luffy beat him before, but Luffy, at the end of the day, still has his rubber devil fruit. And that will always beat Enel's lightning. I'm not saying Enel's lightning is useless. It's just useless against Luffy, or it has a very diminished effect against Luffy. Whereas Luffy's rubber, dude, A1. Like, that rubber will help him so much in a fight against Enel that it's not even funny. So that's my 2 cents on that. It's starting to sound like a fan theory at this point. Yeah, Enel's gonna come back and he's gonna, you know, save Luffy. He might take him to Laugh Tale on the moon if that's true. And all that. But imagine, you know, Enel's on space, right? Imagine Marineford 2.0. We got an execution going on. They're all fighting. And then just like Marineford, they look up in the sky and they're like, oh my god, another ship has fallen from a frozen tidal wave. And they all look at Aokiji saying, bro, why'd you do this? And then they're like, no, wait, look at that. It's not coming from a wave. It's coming from the fucking moon. And then it's Enel with his, you know, space brigade of the raccoons and shit. So that'd be pretty funny. That's an interesting theory. I'm throwing that out there. If that actually does happen, I want my money. But anyways, Jesus, my cats are going bonkers. But anyways, the chapter is a lot of hype and a lot of setup. I think that's the main purpose of this chapter. We get a lot of fight setups. We have Franky versus Sasaki. Sasaki having the Triceratops Devil Fruit, which I love. Mainly because I think it's so perfectly done. Because Sasaki is the tank of the fucking Jurassic era, right? And then you have Franky, in general Franky, which is like the tank of the future. Like, so I think what better matchup than that? And then we have Black Maria versus Sanji. Sanji, I don't know if you guys paid close attention to Sanji's eyes, but that man did not have any hearts in them bitches, which I'm really excited. So personally, when it comes between Zoro versus Sanji, I have always been a Sanji fan. Since that man was introduced, I've been a #1 Sanji fan. But as One Piece continues along, I slightly shifted towards Zoro. And the reason why is because Zoro gets these amazing fights. He gets these amazing scenes, especially in Wano, bro. This guy has a sword behind him. He's like, wah, 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 wah. And then people are dead, you know? Sanji has always been really cool. He has a little cigarette thing going on. If you watch the 4Kids version, he has a lollipop going on. And he's just always been cool in my heart, but the guy just doesn't catch any breaks. The guy catches L's, Whole Cake Island L, and just fights in general. Sanji doesn't fight these high diff opponents. I'm not saying Black Maria is high diff. I don't think she is at all. I think she is strong, but compared to like the monster trio or quartet, as however people want to call it nowadays, like Black Maria probably will get whacked by Sanji if he actually tries. And I'm hoping he does, and I'm hoping he does beat Black Maria, mainly because while Sanji is strong, like, so imagine this. Zoro has his little like comedy skit, like, oh, Zoro always gets lost, you know? This man wanders off and he gets lost, he doesn't know where he's going, and then somebody has to find him like a little kid. Sanji, his comedy skit is that he can't fight women. Pretty funny, right? Like, oh yeah, this guy loves the ladies, he's a ladies man. But that holds him back. Like after 998 chapters, you realize that versus those 2 comedy skits versus each other's, I'd much rather have Zoro's, because the amount of strong females in One Piece that they have to fight and that they have to, like, you know, persuade or win over, like, dude, like Sanji, you know, is destined to just always lose some fights. And I feel like if he does fight Black Maria and he does fight all those other females in that room and he beats them and he leaves, even if he just KOs them or like, you know, knocks them down, I feel like that's perfect. Because that will be like the first woman that Sanji would get a W on. Zoro has proved to us that he can cut down a female. He's done that a couple times in the past with Monet. He's done it in the movie film Z. And I think he could just do it, like he doesn't care. Zoro does not discriminate. He's not sexist. Anybody can catch them fucking swords. But Sanji, on the other hand, I feel like this would be a huge character moment for Sanji if he does beat them. In my opinion, I hope he beats Black Maria and then he goes on to fight somebody of higher difficulty. Like I said, not saying Black Maria is like weak by any means, but I think that Sanji and Zoro, like if Sanji is at Zoro's level, they should be way past the Flying Six, in my opinion. If Zoro can, you know, cut down Apu and he's done, Sanji can one kick Black Maria and she's done, or at least break the floor and send them flying down or some shit, you know? My 2 cents, Sanji fanboy aside, the next fight we have is Jimbei versus Who's Who, and let me tell you, the way they word this panel gave me a little bit of cancer. Because one, Who's Who's speech pattern has changed since he did turn into the Sabretooth model. He seems very like sleepy, so to say. Just the way he words things, it sounds like he starts a sentence and then he ends it abruptly, and then he starts another sentence. That's just what I got from it. And also Jimbei saying, hey, maybe if you remove the mask, I could, you know, I'd remember who you are. That seems like a really snarky remark, like as if he knows who Who's Who is, which I think that is the case. I would say that maybe they fought before, but the way that Who's Who like words his like, you know, words his things against Jimbei, it sounds like they haven't officially met before. Because let me say, Who's Who says, my bad. I caught a glimpse of you once, and then he stops because he's a saber-toothed cat. And then he continues, he says, back when you were still a member of the Warlords. That's why. Well, not that it matters anymore. It almost sounds like Who's Who was looking up to Jimbei from a distance and they never officially met. But I mean, I could be reading this completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. But yeah, anyways, we get a pretty cool panel of Jimbei saying, hey, I am the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. I need you to put some respect on that title. Or, you know, like, I feel like it's always silly when, I think this is the second or third time that Jimbei has noted, you know, out loud that, hey, I'm the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. You know, this is my role. I think it's Oda's way of like hammering down like, hey, Jimbei isn't just a strong guy that joined Luffy's crew. He has some utility to him, you know? If Jimbei wasn't here, the Thousand Sunny just couldn't function. They didn't make it to the New World by themselves. God, they were struggling without a helmsman. But now that Jimbei's here, you know, we're A1 now. Which, don't get me wrong, a helmsman is very important. I just think it's kind of silly that he has to hammer that in every time he, like, you know, somebody refers to him as a Straw Hat Pirate or a lesser value of when he was as a warlord. But anyways, yeah, another fight that's going on the books. We have Ulti and Page One coming in for the final couple panels, and they're still looking for Ussop and Nami, you know? Like, I feel like I'm pretty hyped about that, because, God, I really hope Ussop and Nami beat Page One and Ulti. I don't know about you guys, I was very disappointed when I saw that, you know, Ussop and Nami got totally demolished by these guys, you know? It makes sense, scaling-wise, because while everybody did have a certain glow up after the time skip, Ussop, you know, like all that man got was a six-pack and, you know, plants. Nami, she learned how to control weather slightly better. And it's just like, I need them to show some sort of feats, you know, I want them to beat somebody of value. Which Page One and Ulti, in my opinion, they seem like one of the stronger members of the Flying Six, you know? X-Drake aside, Who's Who aside, they're like third and fourth strongest, maybe even like second and third. I do think Who's Who is probably the strongest out of all of them, in my opinion. But yeah, I really need Ussop and Nami to pull a W on this one. I don't know how they're gonna do it. We saw Ussop shoot like the little bamboo shoots coming up. It seems like Ussop really did use most of his tricks on him and none of them worked. If anything, there were like slight annoyances, you know? So I'm really hoping Ussop has some hidden cat in the bag to destroy Page One and Ulti, and I hope Nami also comes in and helps out as well. The reason why I think the fight will be continued is just because we get Page One asking, where did those cowards go? And then you have Ulti saying, like, you know, I really want to bash that woman's head in. So it's like, yeah, like they're still looking for him. And I don't know what that panel right there in the middle is, but I'm assuming that is Ussop hiding behind a dead body. I don't really know. It looks like a dirty pile of clothes or some fur or some shit. But yeah, even if Nami and Usopp don't fight them, who do you guys think will fight them at all? Like, the only Straw Hats that aren't accounted for in this fight right now are just Robin and Brook. And even if they do come in, like, will it be a 4v2? Will it be a 2v2? Like, what's gonna happen here, you know? I really just want Nami and Usopp to catch the W. And the thing is, if they do continue the fight, one of my problems is that we didn't see part 1 of the fight. We hopped in immediately when Nami and Usopp were delivered like the final blow, you know? Like, come, it would be baffling if we hop in and then we get part 2 to the fight when we never saw part 1. You know, it's like, oh, it's a revenge match. A revenge match of something we never saw before. So that would be my one little gripe about it. Anyways, we finish out the chapter with Momonosuke and Yamato talking about Ace. Or she doesn't refer to him by name. It's like Voldemort. There was a guy that came here and helped us out a long time ago, but I'm not gonna say his name right here. I don't want to name drop just yet. You know, that's too much hype. If we say the name, we gotta go into like a fucking 5-week backstory of it and how he came to Wano and all that shit and how he fought Kaido. But it's pretty hype. Yamato says a few years ago, Ace, he came to kill my father. Which begs the question of, are we gonna see an Ace versus Kaido fight? I really hope we do, because Ace, we haven't seen a single fight scene of this man since the minute he was introduced. We saw him versus Blackbeard, but I do not count, you know, 2 shots in like 2 minutes of fighting to be considered a fight scene, you know, especially when we didn't see the end of it. We saw him doing a Entei and then he threw it and then Blackbeard consumed it and then that was GG. Next time we see him, he's at the podium about to get his head chopped off. So I'm really hoping we do get a very fleshed out panel or chapter of Ace fighting Kaido. Or maybe this is where the anime can, you know, kind of pull all the stops and say, okay, you know what? You know, we're really catching up to the manga really quick and we really want to like build more episodes so the manga can get ahead of us. So maybe we will flesh out the whole like Ace versus Kaido fight, which is what I'm hoping for. But, you know, that's me assuming that we're not going to get a whole bunch in the manga already. But anyways, one little tidbit of the chapter that I did not touch on just yet, and I saved it for last for a reason, is the Chopper, Marco, the Phoenix vaccine plot point. And my main reason with this that I don't like talking about it is just because compared to the rest of the chapter, I feel like the Chopper vaccine Ice Demon thing, it's always been so low on the hype meter. And that's not saying it's bad. It's not saying that it's like poorly done. It's just the fact that with everything going on in Wano right now, this is one of the things I'm like, this will resolve itself. Chopper is a master doctor. He's already thought of how to do the vaccine. Marco the Phoenix is there. He's already subduing a lot of the ice demons. He's curing, or he's you know, postponing a lot of the symptoms of the ice demon thing right now. So it's like, fuck, like it's kind of resolving itself. You know, it's almost done. If anything, I don't know why Queen is sitting on the rooftop saying, guys, what are you doing? Kill Chopper. He's making a vaccine, but he's not gonna give it to you guys. And they're like, yeah, let's kill Chopper. Like, but no, why are you killing Chopper? This man is making the only vaccine you'll ever get. Apu has the other one, and that man is being eaten alive. I think it's really silly. I don't know. You can obviously tell where this is going. Chopper is gonna make the vaccine, the Yakuza bosses are gonna hold off all the bad guys, and then Chopper is gonna give the vaccine to everybody. And then guess what? Some of the beast pirates that have turned into ice demons, they're gonna help Chopper and the rest of the Straw Hats fight Kaido and his squad. Like, it's very obvious where this is going. If it does take a crazy turn, you know, some loops be thrown in here, I'd be surprised. It's also really silly that Queen isn't doing a singular thing about this. Queen being one of the top 3 dogs of Kaido's army, absolutely chilling on the top, arms folded, shouting, what's going wrong? Guys, stop him. But Queen, you're very strong. You're acting like a spandom here. Like, you never want to be a CP9 spandom. That man just low power, always shouted orders. That is what Queen is reminding me of right here. Very not befitting of one of Kaido's top 3 dogs. It's funny because we also get I rarely laugh at manga, but I really laughed pretty hard when we saw the panel of Apu saying, wait, you bastard, Kisama. Is like, but his panel is all blacked out, like a locked Lego character. Like Apu was like, oh guys, don't make that vaccine or else I'll have no worth. And then he just jumps up and then X-Drake completely eats the man alive. Like, come on. Apu, buddy, What are you doing? I feel like out of all of the Supernova, I think Apu might be the weakest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think the guy is kind of a joke. He's kind of a gag character in my opinion. Whenever he's hyped up or he's seen in a position of like, oh, maybe he is gonna be a pretty difficult opponent to fight, the guy just gets waxed, dude. Last chapter, Zoro waxed him. This chapter, X Drake waxed him. Like who's next? Like who? You know what? Maybe Ussop Nami can fight this man, and maybe they'll just wax him too. Maybe they'll finally get a W. But anyways, that's my thoughts and my little recap discussion on the chapter. I'm pretty excited. Chapter 999 is next chapter, and then we get chapter 1000. I think that comes out January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm gonna make a prediction. Chapter 999, it's gonna be a chapter where all these fights start taking place. Maybe Kaido talks a little bit. Maybe we get set up with the Minx and Kaido, and we see some things happen. Maybe Zoro, maybe Marco takes Zoro to the rooftop, and then chapter 1000. I'm calling it here. We're gonna get one shot galore. Sasaki versus Franky. Franky W. We're gonna get Who's Who versus Jimbei. Jimbei W. Ulti and Page One. Hopefully Ussop Nami W. You know, I just feel like we're gonna get these W's non-stop. Sanji versus Black Maria W. Zoro, maybe he even cuts Kaido fucking chapter 1000. Who knows, dude? Like I'm pretty excited. I really do feel like a lot of these fights for the most part are pretty low diff for the Straw Hats, considering how strong they should be right now. So, and Oda did say he wants to make chapter 1000 super hype. And what would be hyper than the Straw Hats legit destroying these guys? But also, there's a small part of me that's hoping that doesn't happen. Mainly because I really want really fleshed out fights for all these guys. I want some power scaling feats in this bitch. So there's a small part of me that's like, maybe we need to tone down the hype a little bit for some of these guys. But yeah, anyways, what do you guys think about the chapter? What do you think will happen for chapter 1000? Did I mess up anything? Did I leave out anything at all? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Please leave a like on this video. It really helps. I'm a small content creator. I'm trying to hit the goal of 50 subscribers. So please help me on that goal. And yeah, just please subscribe, like, comment. It really helps with the algorithm. And yeah, see y'all.